can move to Rocca di Frassinello, the last estate of today and the last of our group. The estate is located in Maremma, in the southwest of Tuscany, 15 kilometers from the Mediterranean Sea. And Rocca di Frassinello was born in 1999 with the first Italian and French joint venture between Castellare and Chateau Lafite Rothschild through the friendship of Mr. Panerai and Eric de Rothschild. So it's the only one wine project designed by the greatest architect of Renzo Piano. So starting with the Rocca di Frassinello tasting, the first wine is Rocca di Frassinello, is the flagship of the property. Again, 2018, the new Denim Premier vintage. This is the flagship. The flagship and produced with a 60 Sangiovese, the same clone of the Sangiovese we use in Castellare, and 20% Merlot and 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. Is fermented in stainless steel with a very long maturation. It's about 4 weeks and aged in a French oak barrel for 24 months, 70% new and 30% second time after Chateau Lafite. So following our relationship with Lafite, we are allowed to use the second time barrels after Chateau Lafite. Prego, Antonio, for your comments.
So, we're in Maremma, so this is coastal Tuscany. It's a warmer area generally than Chianti Classico for sure. And I think what's nice about the cooler vintages here is that you have a balance of the natural generosity that you're going to get in this part of Tuscany with the more tempering aspects of the vintage. This wine has a lot of grip, a lot of tannin on the finish, especially really beautiful fruit. Comparing, obviously, the Chianti Classico from Castellare is a different level of wine, but here, for example, there's no suggestion of oak except for maybe a little bit on the finish, but that's more structural than flavor, more the tannin. And this is another wine that I think is going to need a few years to really be at its best because it has a lot of energy, a lot of vitality, really beautiful fruit. It's more of a mid-weight vintage for this wine, not so opulent. And I think it's really pretty. I'm curious, why did you plant Sangiovese in the Maremma? It's for people who don't know, it's not the most common grape in Maremma. A little bit in your area, but it's not the first choice often. So why did you do that? Was it to have a linkage to Chianti Classico, or was there some other reason?
First of all, it's because geologically speaking, the soil we have in Rocca di Frassinello, it's almost the same kind of soil that we have in Castellino and Chianti. So if you look the soil, the texture of the soil is almost the same. In fact, look in the geologic map of Tuscany, we can easily understand that our part of Maremma that I remember to all of our followers is in the middle of Maremma. So we are 25 kilometers from Grosseto and 40 kilometers from Bulgaria. So, and our part of Maremma has the same exactly geologic morphology that we have in Chianti Classico and in the Brunello di Montalcino. Is the kind of same foot of pedology system. And the second reason is because we have a beautiful influence of the sea, because we have the sea just 10 or 12 kilometers from us, and we are in the middle of two beautiful hills, and the breeze coming from the sea reduce drastically the temperatures after sunset. So it's really a beautiful area to produce a great Sangiovese. And I think for a top wine is made in a good balance, you know, with the power and the energy of Cabernet Merlot, and the elegance, the finesse, and the freshness, especially the freshness of Sangiovese in a bottle like this.
I can't remember a vintage of Rocca di Frassinello that had this much energy. The wine feels very alive and vital. Usually the wines are more open and easy to understand young. This wine has a lot of power and a lot of energy.
Yeah. For my personal opinion, 2018 in our property in Rocca di Frassinello is considered, for my personal opinion, one of the best vintages, because, as you said, we have a very good balance, no? A very good balance between the power and the freshness, and I think it's a wine. I agree also with you that is still very young, but in a few years the wine will be in a fantastic shape.